What's up, guys? It's Copper, and today I'm doing my classical studies. Shush! Not like actually. Anyway, I'm doing my classics video. The last one, the tripod fell, but I did 5 minutes of study. This counts as study, even though it's homework. It is classical studies. This is the why the Rome legacy equipment is so good. I can't follow that person, but I want to. Because I'm not signed in on this thing.
And longest.
Let's see what this is about.
The Roman Empire has the rare distinction of being both one of the largest and longest lasting empires in Europe.
Largest and longest lasting empires,
During the first century AD, the Imperial Roman legionary played a central role in the rapid expansion and consolidation of the empire.
Role in the rapid expansion of the Roman Empire.
Numbering over 150,000.
Numbering over 150,000, gee whiz.
Which brought the Roman state to the height of its power. Their accomplishments were achieved through rigorous training, discipline, as well as having the latest and greatest infantry equipment of the era. The ancient Imperial Roman legionary wore a simple tunic, which was often dyed red, as well as being associated with Mars.
Mars.
God of war.
Ares.
Mythologically sired Rome's founders, Romulus and Remus. Red dye was cheap and readily available in most areas of the empire. Typically, madder root was used for red dye production, which could also easily be dried and exported. Most legionary tunics were either made of wool or linen, which was thinner and lighter, which made it the favored material for hotter climates and summer months. Because it did not retain most dyes available to the Romans very well, linen was usually bleached white, or left in a natural off-white state.
Let's go.
Other cheaper colors, such as green, obtained through a variety of plant-based dyes. Were also used to a lesser extent. It has also been hypothesized that legionaries assigned for naval duty as
that's bishops.
Associated with Neptune,
Poseidon.
god of the sea. Blue dye was also relatively inexpensive, although not as cheap as red.
Oh, let's go red. That red must be pretty cheap.
A Roman legionary recruit was required to be able to march 22 miles in less than 6 hours.
6 hours.
Armor and carry
I walked
pack, weighing at least
5,
pounds.
6.
No,
I walked like 12 miles.
20 to 30 miles in a day.
15 miles in 7 hours.
Or making camp. It has often been noted the Roman army defeated their enemies on many occasions simply by outmarching them. To accomplish this, the legionary needed some formidable footwear. The caliga was a heavy-duty sandal boot that had hobnails hammered into the thick sole, enabling it to grip the ground better, in the same way as a modern sports cleat. The hobnail pattern on the bottom of the boot also had a similar function to that of a modern sports shoe, with ball, arch, and heel support. The ancient Roman author Juvenal cautioned civilians against antagonizing the legionary, who in retaliation...
Nah, I can't. Because, you know... For God's sake. Okay, in retaliation.
Some modern sports cleat. A variety of enclosed boot designs were commonly worn for much of the year. Lila means little boots. The soldiers his father commanded gave him the endearing nickname, as he wore a miniature uniform and miniature caligae, while accompanying his father on campaign as a child. Along with the caligae, the military belt was another item closely tied to the legionary's identity.
That's a pretty nifty looking belt.
How the sounds of jingling belts and the crunch of iron hobnails
I don't think you would want a belt to jingle for you. What time is it?
The sound of many thousands of legionaries marching in step was intended to inspire awe or fear. The soldier's belt was a great source of pride for the legionary. Often,
so when, oh my god, in 2 hours, I'm going to a different county,
metal studs and
across the country.
From the belt provided a degree of groin protection, which is important, but it was primarily aesthetic, and was shortened and went out of style in the 2nd century AD. Wearing the belt tightly also helped to distribute some of the weight of the armor from the shoulders to the hips. Often,
it's gonna be a nice car ride.
Belt, a cloth waistband was worn,
5 hours.
which protected the stomach and back from chafing caused by the belted armor. The waistband was also folded in such a manner so that it served as a pocket to store money or whatever small items the legionary wished to carry on his person.
Store money or other small items that the legionary wants to carry.
In the early 1st century,
wait, what?
Along with the introduction of segmented plate,
this is like
a
different
scarf became
things.
standard issue to
Like
prevent scarring and chafing around the tight-fitting neck plates. Soldiers wearing older scale and mail armor adopted its use shortly afterwards. The fashionable scarves were also worn off-duty and identified a man as a soldier. It has been hypothesized that the color of the legionary scarf signified what unit he belonged to. This is reasonable to assume, as it would have been cheaper and easier to supply than maintaining uniform tunic color. Tunics wore out quickly due to heavy use and were replaced often, using whatever color fabric was
when did that turn white? I just blinked.
The legionary is primarily thought of as a swordsman, charging
It's
forward
a big sword.
and using his sword to thrust, rather than slash. The legionary's gladius was a short thrusting and chopping sword designed for use within a densely packed and ordered formation of men. The sword of the 1st century evolved from Spanish swords of the late 3rd century BC that the Romans had encountered during the Punic Wars against Carthage. The sword was carried in a sheath and baldric. The feared weapon was designed to cause massive damage. The gladius was two-edged, suited for cutting and chopping. Its wide blade had a tapered point, which was ideal for the legionary's primary attack.
I was just talking about like low tape fade and ninja.
Created by this was almost
I'm not actually listening to it.
The ridged handle, shaped to receive the user's
no, I'm joking. This is classical studies. I have to listen.
Ergonomic hand grip.
Classical studies is the best.
Scabbard were often personalized to suit the owner's taste.
5.
The Imperial Legionary's helmet was the amalgamation of the best features of earlier Italian and Gallic helmets. A substantial neck guard, ear cutouts, visor, and eyebrow ridges were a few of its most prominent features.
So far I've done 12 minutes to study out of an hour.
The helmet to be spread over the chest while
so
marching.
Just this times 5.
It is important to note that expensive equipment such as helmets were rarely discarded as new revisions were introduced into the ranks. Consequently, during the 1st century AD, older Coulis pattern helmets would have been used alongside Imperial Gallic helmets, as they were slowly phased out of service. The Lorica segmentata, segmented plate armor, came into use during the reign of Augustus. Although it appears to be the most popularly used armor during the 1st century AD, older chainmail and scalemail did not completely disappear from use. Each class of armor had its own virtues and drawbacks. Originating in the Near East, scalemail had been used for more than 1,000 years by the time of the first Emperor Augustus. The thin overlapping scale version the Romans produced provided the least effective protection of their major armor types. But on the plus side, it was the cheapest and easiest to produce, as well as repair. Lorica squamata was most commonly used by provincial auxiliary troops, but would have been sporadically present in the legions as well. The Romans adopted chainmail from the Celts, and modified it to contain riveted rings which increased its strength. Lorica hamata allowed the greatest flexibility of movement. It was the heaviest of the three, and extremely labor-intensive to create. Segmented armor was quicker to manufacture, provided the greatest level of protection, and was significantly lighter than mail. On the downside, it was much more costly and time-consuming to maintain and repair when put to heavy use. The Pugio was a small, wide dagger, resembling a diminutive gladius, which was attached to the left side of the belt. Like the gladius used in the imperial era, the Pugio was also descended from a Spanish blade encountered during the Punic Wars, and altered over time. It was widely believed that this dagger was not always standard issue, but because it was found to be extremely effective in close-quarter combat such as sieges, many legionaries purchased them on their own.
I've done a bit over 15 minutes,
was a very specialized type of heavy javelin, designed for use at close range immediately before the charge. The base of the pilum shaft was constructed of a softer iron, so that it would bend after significant impact. This was done to prevent the enemy picking up the javelin and throwing it back at the Romans. Also, to accomplish this same goal, the iron pins which held both halves of the pilum together were sometimes switched out for wooden pegs, which easily popped out after impact. The legionary carried a large rectangular curved shield called a scutum. It was made of 3 alternating layers of laminated wood strips covered in felt and calf skin, with a large iron boss at the center and a metal rim. This heavy shield was an offensive weapon, as well as a defensive one. During the charge, and when engaged with the enemy, the legionary could use the prominent iron boss to punch the enemy, potentially unbalancing and toppling them. Its design is believed to be initially based on Celtic shields of the 6th century BC, and evolved its iconic features over time. There is much conjecture surrounding the details of Roman shield painting, but generally speaking, throughout Republican Roman times, the patterns painted on shields varied widely, and were slowly standardized over the centuries. During the reign of Augustus, wings and thunderbolt patterns became widespread, and by the later 1st century, most legionaries would have carried some variation of the motif on their shield. While marching on campaign, the legionary carried the scutum in a leather case slung over his back.
Ooh, 11.
Originally a piece of gladiator equipment, the Manica arm guard's use was adopted by both legionaries and provincial auxiliary troops beginning maybe in the 1st century AD. Based on artistic depictions of the time, during the Emperor Trajan's Dacian campaign, its use increased to counter Dacian warriors armed with large two-handed curved swords capable of severing a Roman's unarmed arm with a single swing. The increased protection these internally padded metal plates would have provided restricted the legionaries' flexibility to some extent. Consequently, the decision to purchase and wear one must have been a tough decision, and it is likely the Manica was never standard issue. This has been Epimetheus, and I hope you have enjoyed this video and the drawings I made.
Oh no, you made those drawings, don't feel bad.
There you can help me out with the cost of making more videos like this. Also, be sure to let me know in the comments of what you think of this type of video, and like, subscribe, and all that other good stuff.
Yeah, like, subscribe, and all yeah. That's my name.
Melt belly fat like crazy with this new military invention. This new technology turns men into beasts without...
Alright, cool. What are we gonna do now? I'm just gonna... There we go. Go to here. Well, what's first? I don't really care what's first. So we are going to do some business study. You know, business is cool. I hate preparing, but no, I'm joking. Budgets are fine. I don't love them though or anything. Let's go to the first page. What's the notification? Oh, it's just the government. Right. What is business? Business? Okay, I don't really feel like reading. Okay, I'll be back. 1 second. I'll just be gone for a few minutes. No, I'm joking. For a few seconds, I don't know how long I'll be gone. Golden keeps me entertained. Golden to blue. Mm-hmm. Say some things, I don't know, to the camera. Yeah. Yeah, go on. Like, talk about something. Yeah. Just say a few words. What? Say something. Yeah. Like a few things. Like one word.
I'll pause the video.
It's not paused.
What?
It's not paused.
Yeah, I'll pause it.
No.
Okay then, man.
I'm back. Oh, you didn't keep them entertained. You don't get any.
What?
You didn't say anything. You don't get any.
Yeah, I did.
What did you say?
I said hi.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I don't. What?
You shouldn't.
That's it. Okay, he's back. Huh. He doesn't like being clicked at. Kit Kat. It's upside down. Okay, what is business? Business is the act of providing goods and services in return for money. For example, a restaurant provides food to paying customers. Goods are physical items that satisfy a need or want. Example, toothpaste, a car, or a mobile phone. I feel like all three of those are kind of needs. Like, what? What do you say? I don't believe you. Anyway, toothpaste, you don't want to smell bad. Like, toothpaste, you don't really need it, but it's definitely going to make everything better. Not everything, but some things. A car, you do kind of need that. Unless you want to walk for like 3 days. You go somewhere. Then I don't really think you should not get a car. And a phone, I wouldn't be here without a phone. And I don't mean on YouTube. Anyway. Services are non-physical items that satisfy a need or want. Right there says need or want. So some of those are needs. Plumbing, car repairs, broadband access. Goods and services can be sold by business to customer or business to business. B2C and B2B. Okay, let's see what this says. Money is anything that is accepted as payment. Money is anything that is accepted as payment. Okay? So money is anything that is accepted as payment for goods or services such as cash, credit, cards, and debit cards. Interesting. Cool. Local, national, and global businesses. A business can be local, national, or global. A local business is one that sells goods or provides a service to the local community. For example, locally owned newsagents sell to people who live nearby. I don't know what I did there. Anyway, a national business is a business that only sells goods or provides service within the country where It was established, for example, Educate.ie only publishes its textbooks in Ireland. Lucky Ireland, right? Andrew, gold. Speak loudly. What country do we live in?
Ireland.
What?
Ireland.
Ireland.
Yeah.
Not Ireland, because there's a big I. It's A-R-E, land.
No, it's I-R-E.
Yeah, but like you're pronouncing it like R.
Yeah.
A-R-E.
Yeah.
Why not I?
Because.
Yeah, well, you're right. People that say Ireland. Sure, you want to go to Mayo. Sure, where is that? It's over in Ireland. No. Irish people say Ireland. Anyway. A global business is a business that sells goods or provides a service in many countries around the world. For example, Coca-Cola Company sells products in more than 200 countries. There are not 200 countries in the world. Gold. Be a gem and search up how many countries are there?
Like 227.
No. He really doesn't want to let me win.
How many countries?
Yeah, countries. Countries. I'm just making sure I know how to spell it.
I spelled countries right, but I spelled many wrong.
Of course you did.
195.
195 countries, that's interesting. Not 227, huh?
Oh yeah.
I don't care. Anyway, technology has made it easier than ever for business to operate globally. It has affected the world in many good ways. It has affected the way goods are made, paid for, transported, and tracked. It has also helped businesses and people to communicate no matter where they are in the world. Like, sure, Amazon, can you send a message along to my uncle? Developing skills for the classroom and the bathroom. Boardroom, not bathroom. That's bad. That's not bathroom, that's boardroom. Anyway. Many of the skills you will practice in the business studies classroom are important. Preparation for the world of work. Teamwork, yeah. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of words. There are even more words. Feedback, present. I don't care about the fish. Oh, fishies. No, teamwork. A team group. No, a team. Everyone knows what a team is. A team is a group of people who work together towards a shared goal. Teamwork requires excellent communication and cooperation. At times during your business studies course, you will be asked to work with a partner as part of a group in the business world and in the classroom. Working as a team has a number of advantages. People bring different skills to the team. For example, one team member may have strong math skills while another may be good at public speaking. DM that's his initials, is best at everything, and so is AH.
Wait, who's the first one?
DM.
Oh yeah.
And so is AH.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
What?
Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
So is EH. So is EH. Is EH good at those? Oh no, he isn't, he says. What about JM? What about CC?
What's this?
Corn.
What?
Thank you for the corn. Corn. That's a TikTok reference. Anyway, a task can be completed much faster when it is a group effort. Yeah, facts. Team discussion can lead to better ideas and decision making. Working together to achieve a goal boosts morale. That's nice. Well, moral, is it? Morale. Maybe they're different words. I don't know. Anyway, tips for getting the best out of group work. Listen to others in your group. Make sure that everything in the group is also a chance to have their say. Everyone has the right to have their opinion, the right to their opinion. So make sure it is respected. Make sure everyone in the group has a role. Appoint a timekeeper to ensure tasks completed on time. That's stupid. I can't say much, so. Stay focused on achieving the task. Keep a record of how you are performing in your group work. This will help you to keep a record of how you are performing in your work. This will help you identify the strong areas. I don't care. Anyway, so we did 35 minutes, so that is gold. Never mind. So we did half the work. That's 40 minutes. So I'm going to study while I take a poo, because I have to poo now. So
Did you finish your tasks?
I did.
Really?
That's my name.
Did you finish all the definitions and stuff?
No, I'm not doing that.
It's on Classroom then.
It is on Classroom.
He'll be kind of sad.
Yeah, he'll just be devastated, won't he? I'm making this a little challenge for myself.
I've done 6.
6, I've done none. Don't want my reflection to be there. That wouldn't be ideal. Right, iPad. So, the reason I'm not letting you stay there while I go take a poo is simply because I'm going to watch TikTok in the bathroom. What I do? No study. I'll say I did though. I'm joking, I'm going to study. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Bye, subscribe.